Well, Muzu still have to like push down logs and stuff, which Exto won't have to do because of route differences later on. But yeah, I think
also Muzu getting a pretty weirdly precise roll. Like after you shoot the pellet, you can do a roll before it actually shoots down the vine and the cutscene plays, which for some reason is like ridiculously precise.
Yeah. There were like other, just like kind of off topic to Yerbal, there were like other precise rolls. I think in like LMF there's like one where there's like where you can shoot your slingshot as like a bomb, and there's about like about 2 or I don't know how many frames. So like it doesn't feel like as many frames you can, but you can like roll in those like 3 frames. It's like yeah, like those like these types of precise rolls are kind of everywhere. It's only really those 2 parts. Everywhere else in Skyward, but it's still pretty hard.
Yeah. So now Muzu's going to be going for extending blow. Let's see if she gets it. Unfortunately, that did not work. It's a very RNG dependent trick. Because the Bokoblin kind of has like, I think 4 different launch distances and only one of them works. And the idea is basically, you do the final blow on the Bokoblin like as it dies, and then the game doesn't know where to set your coordinates, so it sets them to 0, 0, 0, and then it flings you all the way across the map.
Yeah, and here it just happens to be the in front of Skyview, which is very useful to us.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, Cube Warp. She had a bit of like a Monka S camera angle, but it worked out. So Exto just doing extending blow.
Extending blow also saves more time on English because, so we'll see how that works. Also, not getting a good distance.
Yeah. Also, there's a fight. Like I say, we can skip it, but it's mandatory. Well, I mean, we can't in this route, but we can in like alternate routes such as what was it? Can we skip it in all dungeons? I don't know.
Yes,
I think we can.
You can skip it in all dungeons.
We can skip it in no bit. We can't skip it in 80% because we never even get here. We do this all back in time.
I guess, yeah, by definition, we get.
Yeah, we skip all this in 80%. Yeah. I don't know because I did it 15 times in the span of 24 hours. No. I mean, Exto's still going for the skip, probably for swag points, but yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Also, just to appear faster when he enters Skyview. Yeah, I see how this is Exto.
I actually think that I should do a timing of this, because I don't know if avoiding the cutscene the first time around is faster than just watching it.
Actually, yeah, good point.
But good showcase anyway of how you would skip that cutscene normally.
Yeah. But on Yerbal, unless Tado times it differently, with our current knowledge, it's useless.
Because you have to watch the cutscene either way.
Yeah.
Because, like, eventually, because you have to save at the statue, and you can't go near the statue without triggering the cutscene, so. Yeah. No reason it should be faster. However, you can hit a good snipe from further away than you would be able to from the angle that Muzu went. So
that's actually true. Although you do kind of have to go a bit out of your way to skip it instead of just going straight up to Skyview. But I think it could be worth it.
One of those things that doesn't seem like it's faster, but
it could be worth timing either way if you can physically. Okay, so more back in time after the just running around, which is like the first half of the run.
Yeah, this is going to be the early Thunderhead sequence where she selects file 1 and then starts file 2 as the cutscene is fading out, and you saw it for like a frame there, the Thunderhead opening. And this is because the flag corresponding to the Skyview crystal being hit corresponds with the Thunderhead being opened. So, it's worth exploiting to put on file 2.
Yeah, basically. And so, the Thunderhead is significant because we need Ferora's courage to get this Water Dragon scale, which is ultimately how we need to get into the Great Tree.
Yes.
Pretty sure Exto failed that, although I don't know. I'm not entirely sure of the timings.
It seems a little early, but it should have been fine. As long as you get the cutscene like after you're fading out, then you should be okay.
Yeah, I don't know why, but people tend to not use a zipper here. I'm pretty sure that, although I think Sky Movement is definitely mostly about using zippers because that is like definitely, in a lot of ways faster. I think here it's only a few seconds, but also it has the advantage of very rarely do tornadoes spawn like that did in front of Muzu. So you often don't really have to worry about them. Although of course there will be like one or so tornadoes appear, but But I think as people say in the chat, it's faster and safer. Yeah.
I think Exto.
Oh yeah, Exto's going for it. Yeah.
But yeah, Muzu's kind of doing some serpentine movements here to avoid the tornadoes, because if she dies, she basically has to fly all the way back to the Thunderhead, which is slow. But then if she gets tornadoed again at 6 hearts, she loses way more time because File 2 hasn't rescued the Loftwing or and thus like can't call the Loftwing. So if you get thrown off the tornado, you're stuck in a void loop for all of eternity.
Yeah, so just don't hit tornadoes twice, and of course Exto does that stress because like he do be a veteran.
Yes. Better defend that 100% record, Exto.
Oh, Muzu, don't mess this up, Muzu, come on. And don't take damage, just like you did there. Yeah, no, you can take damage, Muzu. How did you not know this? I'm just saying, my guy. Yeah.
Even then, she would have, if she didn't take damage, she would have messed up because she spawned right outside of a fence to the puzzle of the Thunderhead. Thankfully, she spawned right still in the Thunderhead still, so it's not as slow.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate because you can't recall your bird, and you don't have the sailcloth to avoid taking damage, so it's just really scary, all this sequence leading up to getting Ferrari's Courage. So yeah, now Exto is officially ahead despite the head start, which is good for Exto and not as good for Muzu.
Yeah.
But again, this is Yerbal, so you never know.
Yeah. But like Exto is definitely ahead, and he's also got a additional time save because the route is faster. Yeah.
Yes.
So as these boys just get the Force Courage, I probably want to talk about the character category there. So the category is talk to Yerbal. Basically, most categories involve beating the game. This one doesn't. You just talk to an old Kikri at the top of a tree. But this requires quite a lot of different requirements. That's the word I'm looking for. And those requirements being the slingshot, Watch Dragon Scale, and basically the being at the boss statue in Ancient System, so he can do a reverse bit warp into the
also,
Great Tree
Muzu
with very specific coordinates.
Sorry. Yeah, Muzu getting a frame-perfect side hop cutscene skip that saves not a lot of time, but very significant.
Like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Swag strats, am I right?
Very swag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, talking to Yerbal seems easy, in terms of like requirements, but it quickly cascades into in order to talk to Yerbal, you have to be able to enter the Great Tree, which in turn means you have to have the Water Dragon Scale, which means you have to get Ferrari's Courage at one point, which means you have to open the Thunderhead, which means you have to go to Skyview, which means you need to get the Slingshot, which means blah 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 blah. Yeah. It just cascades into a whole bunch of requirements. We used to need the Claw Shots or Gust Bellows, one of the two, because we actually used to do the Great Tree normally. But thankfully, Azer saved this category and figured out there's certain coordinates in the Ancient Cistern that you can use to reverse bit warp into the very top of the Great Tree. Yeah.
Also, Exo apparently made a mistake somewhere. I wasn't paying attention. I know I'm like amazing at commentary, but yeah.
I think he might have gotten early Thunderhead, which is very possible.
Oh yeah,
Be very careful with your files here, because if you trigger the Thunderhead cutscene during Back in Time, it soft locks you, so you have to redo the Back in Time.
Yeah, and also, this one is definitely much more like hardest to do, especially if you don't have the route up. So often like this can be quite a good memory test, unless you do have the route up. In that case, just yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still hard.
Yeah, it's fun in with any Skyward Sword route, because you typically, especially in terms of Back in Time, you won't really know if you failed something until you watch it fail. And typically Back in Time fails are either crashes or very funny soft locks. So
yeah, and all of them have
at least it's entertaining.
Yeah, and all of them have incredibly like long error times, or at least like if you mess something up, you can lose minutes, which is why this is definitely a very interesting race category.
Skyward Sword in general.
Exto, I think, did another oopsie because I don't think he can dive off his Loftwing again, unless I'm mistaken, and I'm dumb.
If he loaded with the right file, or if he called it back with the right file.
I believe it's file 3. I don't know.
I don't think he selected a different file, so I think he's good.
Yeah, he can do it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay, so I think Muzu is now ahead. So
yeah, Muzu's ahead again because Exto unfortunately missed the dive to the Farron pillar, which is unfortunate because then you have to call your bird with the file that entered the sky, because that would be the file that has the ability to dive off of the Loftwing. But unfortunately, he selected a different file before calling his Loftwing back, which meant that he can no longer dive off his Loftwing. And since you spawn into the sky with the layer of the Loftwing tutorial, there's invisible walls that prevent you from getting to the Farron pillar, which is just a big old mess that he just has to redo the RBM.
Yeah, so Muzu's quite far away into the Farron trial RBW. This trial can be very bad, especially if you mess up your files at the end. You can't actually continue. I mean, you can, but it would be hard.
Jolie, I'm pretty sure that was KitKat sneezing.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
And Exto made more oopsies. Just giving Muzu just more lead. It's like, here you go. I'm gonna make this interesting. Here you go. Have more of a lead.
All of the oopsies. Yes. As we talked about, selecting file 1 as your first file with the current setup you have will immediately give you the Thunderhead cutscene, which is not very good. Now, Muzu's going to position herself to where she doesn't get the Farron Pillar cutscene again. Or, I mean, the Floriador cutscene. And this particular Back in Time, or reverse bit warp, is interesting, because you have to load story flags and scene flags onto your map, and on 2 different files. So file 2 has Ferori's Courage on it, which will reload the map in the correct layer for the trial gate to spawn, and file 3 is saved on Skyloft, which means that it has the scene flag for the trial gate being opened, which is fun.
Yeah, and so we'll see if that works in a minute. Yeah, that looks like it'll work. I believe Muzu still has to do one more copy.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure if you do it from, I'm pretty sure if you do it from like Link battle like Thruster sort of thing, I'm pretty sure you don't have to do a frame perfect copy then, do you?
No, yeah, you don't have to do it frame perfectly.
Yeah. I used to do it frame perfectly anyway for the swag strats. But no,
so now, how reverse bit warps work is loading into maps via Back in Time with the coordinates saved on certain files. So you saw Muzu there just spawn right next to a tier, which is not normally where you're supposed to spawn. But it makes it very fast. She also needs to get caught once to prevent a soft lock later that we got to see in one of the other races.
Oh yeah, Golf CJ.
But you'll notice that basically she can't get caught in this trial because she loaded into the silent state, but since she hasn't gone in the center flower thing, the map just doesn't know how to go into the awakened state, so it just kind of pretend like it's in the awakened state, like the music will change,
Yeah.
And when you collect another tear, there's this weird like effect that happens as if you switch back to the Silent Realm after the awakened state, but
Yeah.
it's just like normal.
Yeah, Muzu just
This
still have to
also
worry
means
about.
that if you
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
This
Okay.
also means that if you land in waking water, you kind of get stuck there since you're just eternally kind of like stepping on the water because the game doesn't know how to, make the guardians chase after you.
Yeah.
So you basically just have one frame to like hop out of the waking water, which you would want to avoid because it's difficult. But it also gives you like unlimited amount of tries.
Yeah. Also, life fruit. Why not?
Yeah. You would normally want to avoid these because it spawns an extra cutscene, but Muzu is very grateful for the time loss that Exto graciously gave her, so she's paying it back little by little.
Exo is doing a thing.
That does seem to be a thing.
This is bad. This is bad. I don't think he's copied any files, so I think he can still do this again. But this is bad. Don't select any files.
If he doesn't select any other files,
don't Exo, please. Don't you dare,
select any
Exo.
other files, please, or else you get the cutscene again.
Okay. Will it work still? Because that was a bit weird.
It depends.
I mean, we'll see.
It should be fine. If he didn't select the statue with file 1, then he should be fine.
Okay. I don't think he did, but we'll definitely see. Yeah. He didn't do the copy.
Selecting the statue.
Whatever. Although, actually, no. The E1.0 route might be different, so I'm not.
Yeah, it's 1. There's no copy. There's no like copy here because you need the Farron Woods flags for.
Okay, it probably still works. Okay, he still did the frame perfect copying. Yeah.
Yeah. If you basically the back in time opening the map in back in time crashes the game. But the map takes 2 frames to pull up, while copying a file which is mapped to the same button only takes 1 frame. So if you press the plus button in back in time for no more than 1/30th of a second, you can copy a file without crashing the game. And if you miss it, you have to basically unplug your Wii, replug it in, set up your game again, and then do the back in time again.
Yeah, so Muzu just exiting the trial, and Exo just basically entering it. Both runners got caught, so they won't have to deal with soft lock.
Yep.
Alright, so now this is where the biggest route changes happen. So Muzu will be going all the way to Skyview, which is why I pushed down log originally, but Exto won't be needing to, because on Exto's version there's a very specific glitch that basically allows us to gain a decision of way easier and more convenient way than what Muzu's doing. Although I know Muzu's going to probably go for second statue, which is still safer, but it's nowhere near as convenient or faster as Exto.
Yes, it loses about a minute to a minute and a half on PAL, I believe, because of the extra magma text.
Yeah. Which basically makes her original head start not like useless, but more
significantly smaller. But it does eliminate the difficulty curve because but
by that point
you don't fail break slides.
Yeah, but by that point it's like E1.0 would be faster anyway, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes.
It would be as if she had like a 2-minute or 1.5 minute head start.
Yeah.
So again, there's that still like risk reward factor.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, as we've said before, how reverse bit warps work is you enter an area, like you start your file and enter an area back in time with a certain file, and then it loads you into that map with the coordinates from your last save file. So that becomes very important for Ancient Cistern, because the normal Ancient Cistern is impossible, I think, because you don't have the beetle. So what Muzu's gonna try to do is spawn in a certain place with the second Skyview statue, to try and swim in some out-of-bounds water to go directly to the boss key and skip having to do the dungeon normally. And then she can backtrack and get a small key to get the whip. And then get to the top of the dungeon. But that's significantly more difficult than what English has to do, which I'll talk about when I get there.
Yeah, so Exto just finished up the trial. Yeah. Muzu just, again, going for a second statue, which is safer, but it makes JP, or PAL, I mean, PAL would be sorry, but like, it would make the JP route, I guess, even more slower than it already would be on PAL. On Japanese, because of text, it would originally be quicker, but it wouldn't, English 1.0 against Japanese on second statue is quicker. If that makes sense.
And for some reason, the reason that Muzu's doing all this crazy stuff to go back to the second statue is because for some reason the board's being broken in Skyview 2 to give her like a shortcut to the to that statue, is tied to that switch being hit, because you normally wouldn't be able to progress through Skyview 2 without having hit that switch in your first visit. But since we're fast, we don't have to do that.
Yeah. So Muzu's just doing Muzu's just doing the first of the Ancient System RBW. And if you look on Exto screen, you immediately know he's doing something different from Exto. He's not going the Skyview, and I'm going to let Toto explain because I don't run English.
Yeah.
JP gang.
Yeah. AKA lame gang.
Shut up, JP's faster. Okay. Explain.
Imagine brake sliding. Cringe. Yeah. Exto, right now, doesn't really have to worry about doing the dungeon normally, or his coordinates when he goes into the dungeon, because Exto's going to save at the Skyloft Plaza statue, which will spawn him into the Bazaar statue. Sorry, which just sets him in some water, by the Ancient Cistern, or in the Ancient Cistern, and then you could just backtrack to the beginning of a dungeon where the developers forgot about a 1 pixel seam. There's like a 1 pixel height difference between 2 levels in the dungeon, which doesn't seem like it would do much, but if you position yourself in a precise way and run forward, you can just clip out of bounds, and then this can allow you to get both the whip and the boss key early, which saves a lot of time.
Yeah, and it's an easy access to the basement, which Muzu doesn't have because this clip is patched in every other version, so she has to do a much slower route.
Yes. This also skips having to get a small key, which Muzu will need to get the whip.
Yeah, so even though now Exto is faster because of the route changing, it is just going to get more extreme from here on out. Exto's lead is just going to automatically continue anyway.
Yeah. Unless some weird stuff happens, because again, this is Yerbal, and you never know.
Of course, yeah. Also, apparently Muzu's Wii is 2009.
Yeah, that's just a thing that when she was cleaning out her Wii, I think it rebooted it or something weird like that. I don't know the exact reason behind it, but it doesn't matter. Muzu's a time traveler. That's the canon explanation.
Yes, canon, yeah.
She went back to 2008 to get a lead.
Yeah, so both runners going into Exto. This log will naturally be down because of scene flag stuff. Yeah, yes. That's the information. I have nothing else to add to that. And also, the waterfall is down, luckily, so we can just make our way through it. And also, Exo's picking up the rupee, even though he could really just use a slingshot to basically get.
I don't think he's loaded in with the correct file that has the slingshot, so he just doesn't have the option.
I don't know how to English, so yeah.
Well, English route just hasn't been updated, but it could easily load in there with it.
Okay, yeah. So we'll see Exto basically entering from the upper area of the dungeon.
Yep, just splooshing in some water. He will have to do a death warp because doing Cistern Clip loses you 2 hearts. So you want to save at the statue and then die.
Yeah. Muzu, not actually. I don't think she got the right. Oh no, I don't.
No, she's
Okay.
good. She's good.
Yeah, she's good. Okay, yeah. The second statue is weird. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I also actually don't know why she used the stool to heal, because the second statue doesn't have to do that since you don't have to take fall damage from the break slides and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so see Exo doing system clip, which is honestly much faster than second statue.
Yes. If you do it correctly.
Oh yeah. Because it skips getting
the
like
out of bounds movement can be a little bit tricky, but Exto fails it because he sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, but like
it's a bit tricky. Yeah. Specifically, that one corner for some reason. There's like a very, very small amount of space in between the like collision and the floor collision and the wall collision that allows you to scooch past it.
Yeah, that also allows Exo to get the whip without having to without having to get a small key first.
Yes. This will put the statue in like one level too low, which means she will have to get a small key to get the whip, which usually would be just blocking the primary entrance to the statue at the beginning of the dungeon.
Yep.
Muzu also did something called a high flip there, to skip like all of the basement area. And is now showing off the Buddhist symbolism in the dungeon. There's a story that this is based on, I believe.
I think Age of Resistance is definitely a very cool dungeon.
That's the real reason we go here, not for the coordinates, for the aesthetic.
Yes, aesthetic. Yeah, no, I personally think Age of Resistance is the best dungeon in the game, personally.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
It's either this or Santia, but to me, this is just better.
Yeah. No, I agree. Which shows how cool of a dungeon it is, because I would never agree with KitGod on anything, but we can agree on this. So.
Boy. Yeah.
Imagine liking Fire Sanctuary. Cringe.
Sanctuary's
Sanctuary
alright.
is not a better dungeon, CJ. Yeah, please add Kaluk to the ZSR emotes.
Yeah. Anyway, so Muzu's now getting the small key, which Exo could avoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exto getting some group hugs from the zombie bokoblins.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Then shaking them away because this is pandemic times and we don't want to be physically contacting with anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, my dude.
Yeah, so Muzu's getting the small key, as KitGod said earlier. Also taking half a heart of damage from the lily pad.
Yeah.
Also, she hit down the wall spider. I didn't know that was a thing you could do.
Okay, Muzu's in a bit of a sticky situation here because running out of stamina here is really bad. But she should be fine. Yeah, didn't rush it.
She
just took it safe.
She did take some extra health also, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. But she was close enough to where she could have taken a big chunk of damage.
Yeah. So Exo just finishing out Ancient System, and the whole reason why we come here is so we can get very specific coordinates to do a reverse bit warp into the Great Tree and skip the requirements of the Gust Bellows.
And the claw shots. Just the gust bellows. What we used to get the claw shots because it was just faster to get the claw shots than the gust bellows.
Yeah.
Yeah, Exto, the reverse bit warp is in Sandship. You went to the wrong dungeon, my guy. Guess you're gonna have to lose another, 10, 20 minutes or something. Boo, CJ trying to hate on Ancient Cistern. Get him out of here.
Okay, so Exto's being very deliberate with his coordinates, so he can do the specific void out when he gets into the Great Tree. Because again, the thing with reverse bit warps is that they copy coordinates from files and applies them to the new maps. And this is why we even here in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, there's not much reason to go here, unfortunately, even though it's the best dungeon in the game.
Yeah.
Position isn't very precise there, but what he wants to do is position himself to where he will void out upon arriving in the Great Tree, and then landing safely without taking fall damage, because you spawn very high, and you normally take fall damage there, but since he's on 2 hearts, that would kill him and send him all the way back to Ancient Cistern, and he'd have to lose 3 minutes. Yeah, so it could be close here, depending on this reverse bit warp, which can be finicky because it relies on swimming controls to hit a specific loading zone. Exto, I don't think, has had problems with it in the past, but this is Yerbal, so first time for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he got early Thunderhead again, unfortunately. Yeah, CJ simping for the swimming controls in Skyward Sword, which even the most passionate defenders of motion controls in this game will agree kind of sucks.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say the swimming isn't that great.
Yeah, Muzu might look like she's catching up, but this cutscene is long, so we will see about that. It's gonna take a lot for Exto to mess up for her to be ahead. But like we've said over and over again, is Yerbal. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Muzu also lining herself up with the coordinates and stuff.
Even though she really doesn't need to, because she's at like barely full health.
Oh yeah. It's not required.
Yeah. But still nice, so she doesn't have to take as much damage from the keys and stuff. But this will end up being slower for her, as she has to take some fall damage. And
also, going
right
into this...
in a boss battle.
Yeah, this for some reason does not actually, like, remove stamina. It's weird.
Yeah. Because this
She's just
going
to swim it. Yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah, so she's gonna go drown instead.
Yeah. Stallmaster fight. Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Yay, Stallmaster. Which was apparently so scary of a boss that she would rather run away and drown herself.
Nice epic
This is
voice
basically
silence.
the... What?
Nice epic voice silence. Yeah, no, you explain.
Yeah. This is basically the end game of the run.
Yeah.
The equivalent of Horde for any percent is this reverse bit warp, because if you bonk, you lose like 5 minutes, and you have to reset the whole thing.
You have to, like, it's not... don't want to say it's hard, but you definitely have to keep an eye on it, like...
It's very stupid, because, like, all the title screen is blocking your entire path, and the loading zone is, like, kind of tight.
Yeah.
Exo's also wanting to shoot a seed from his slingshot right now, as he...
That failed, apparently.
Oh. Yeah, I think he pressed it too early, unfortunately, which puts Muzu in the lead. I said, this is... He did hit the loading zone, but he started the file too late, unfortunately.
Really? I thought that was... okay, I'll look at it again. I thought that was fine, to be honest. He says in chat that he, like, forgot to press A or like, whatever. Yeah, but I don't know.
He did hit the loading zone, it's just he pressed A too late. Which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, from what I saw, it looked fine, but okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess, like, too late would it, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, oh no, it would have been too early, because if it was too late, it would have crashed or something, because you can't, I don't know.
No, if it's too late, you can load the, I'm pretty sure you can load the Great Tree in back in time. Or, like, on the title screen.
Yeah, then if it was too late, then you would have loaded the, I don't know. Yeah, you
No,
pressed
you
A
wouldn't
too
have gone inside the Great Tree. Because there's a, like, even though, like, the starting file thing, like, happens where you could start a file during the fade out to save, like, a frame or something.
Yeah.
If you still press it too early, at like just as the fade out is beginning, you start your file. So
yeah, but I'll be like, I'll be pretty sure that like that was too early. I don't know. Oh, Muzu bonking. So just handing extra the lead because why not?
Yep.
See, this is hard. You have to really pay attention.
It's very difficult.
Yeah,
very difficult.
I feel like this is just a lot of races just going to be back and forth between this RBM.
Yeah.
Because this is not the first time we've seen
finicky.
this. This isn't the first time we've seen this. Yeah. It was against your race. Your race in 64-bit, where it's basically just trading leads again. At this point, it's like
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never never had any issue. Actually, no, wait, no, it was 64 that had the issues with it. I did some weird crashes.
You still messed up a lot of times, though.
What are you talking about? I never messed up in that race. RB. Oh no. I got called out.
Oh no, we're wrong. This is a great
out.
crime. Whatever.
We gotta flee the country now. They're on to us.
Okay, Exo having a second attempt. We'll see if it works.
Yeah. Somebody should make save files for this specific RBW. Well, I mean, yeah, technically, CJ. You did soft lock and make your entire route, like, become a complicated puzzle, but,
Okay, Exo getting it, so yeah.
That part.
Okay, so
Exo
it
did
looks
get it,
like
yes.
Exo could have this race down unless he dies, which might...
Unless
yeah,
he dies
just...
a lot.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. This is probably... It's safe to say at this point that Exo wins this. Even if he dies, he loses, like, what, 30 seconds?
It's 30 seconds, yeah. Shout out to these keys that I was on a 54 pace and then they would just, like, know you.
Yeah. That was fun times.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so just finishing it up.
He forgot the Great Tree statue. Unfortunately, this isn't 100%. I mean, fortunately, this isn't 100%. Because 100% sucks. Haha, I'm the one on the Discord call. You have no power here, Jesnix.
Oh well, now everyone has a request for you to be shot in the head. So have fun.
Oh no!
Okay, Exo finishes with what was it? 107.49.
Nice. Not a very good time, but still won.
And also, it would be more like a low 105 because of the 2.5 minute stop. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, GG. GG for Exto. Very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We'll see if Muzu wants to bonk again.
Yeah.
But,
right, and my dude Exto is now in the in the Discord. Cool, yeah.
Hello. Oh, he left. And he's back. And he left.
Okay. Hi.
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 Hello.
That was a run.
Perfect run with no mistakes. Yes, I
don't
agree.
know about the speed part, but it was definitely a run.
I mean, still faster than most casual playthroughs.
Oh yeah, that makes me
but
feel real good.
just barely.
Yeah, but didn't fail Skyward vs. Speed Warp, of course. Very nice, very nice. But then,
For once.
you know, Water Dragon skill had the well, first it was the missing the pillar because the calibration was kind of funky, so I had a hard time diving straight. And then it was oh no, first it was the soft lock, sorry, and then it was that, and then it was the Thunderhead cutscene. So I lost 5 minutes on that split.
That was a yikes.
And then I just decided that I didn't feel like reverse bit warping, so I pressed A like an hour late on the way into the Great Tree. But yeah, it was a run. And
Sure
it
was. Yep.
Oh boy.
Muzu's also nearing the end here.
Yeah, here it got
This
pretty
episode.
close between us a few times, didn't it?
Yeah, Muzu had a lead,
Yeah.
but then she was just like, "Nah, I'll just mess up this RBM."
Nice.
Yeah.
Just like me.
I love how like
Muzu
this last RBM is a lot of it's just like trading.
The great equalizer.
trading leads. And Muzu finishes with a 1:10.15. So GG both runners.
GG.
GG Muzu.
Yeah, very good. Muzu, I don't believe, uses mic, so we'll congratulate her via chat.
Actually, I think she normally does the chat interview.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so basically on the board, so this was a loser bracket round. So Muzu is officially out of the tournament. And Exto
That
moves
was,
on to losers round 3. That was an amazing thought, wasn't it? Yeah.
Do we have
that was very good.
somebody else for losers round 3 yet? Or who's?
It's going to be either Three or Jaznix.
Okay. Oh dear, not Jaznix. That
Oh
guy.
boy.
That guy gets reverse bit warp every time.
Oh boy, the curse.
See if
Yeah.
Muzu comes into chat for interview. Thank you, Muzu. GG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a good race. It got close several times. But yeah. There's also a couple minor optimization things to Muzu's route that I think I'll tell her about later.
I'll be cool.
to make the
I'll be in
loads
this
faster.
entire time. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
It becomes a force of habit when you run any percent for 24 hours straight.
guys, I run this game. I swear. I hold world record in this category. I swear. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
No.
good race. Very
Yeah, yeah.
intriguing to watch.
I think all of these are just very intriguing to watch. But yeah. So yeah. Exto's next match will be basically the losers finals, which means if you win, you go onto the single elimination bracket, and if you lose, you're out of the tournament, and you'll be against either Threy or Jasnik. So, how do you feel, my guy?
3 is fast and Jaznix doesn't fail Sky reverse bit warp, so I'm scared. But
It's not looking too good.
I think with a little bit of paying attention, I can do a lot better.
Nobody has time for that.
Like
Let's
my
be real.
PB is a 57, so
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really all about that just general consistency, I think, is really what race is all about, because it do be like that.
definitely. And this category actually has a couple of weird things, like the having to avoid the early Thunderhead so many times is something that I haven't been used to for a few years.
Yeah. Especially when it's, like, out of all the early Thunderheads, it's the Deep Woods flag, because there's a lot of flags for early Thunderhead, like, in so many different regions. But the Deep Woods flag auto-commits, so if you select, like, a file, like, just at all, you'll just get early Thunderhead,
Yeah.
because it's an auto-commit.
Yeah, so if you're doing something like, you know, running to jump off the classic is running to jump off and call the Loftwing with the early Thunderhead file, and then you select it just
Yeah.
before you jump off the dock, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's done that a number of times.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never done that in my life.
I may learn Japanese.
What's Thunderhead?
Yeah, but okay, so Yeah, this is pretty cool. So more Yerbal races coming up in the next week, and more after that. It's gonna be pretty epic, pretty cool. I got nothing else to say. Neat.
Yeah, I think we
Next
can
match.
jump to Ricky.
Who's running the next match again?
I think it's next match scheduled. Let me get the thing up. Next.
It looks like it's CBS and KitKat on January 16th at the
Yeah,
same
that's right.
time.
All right. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
it's-
my first match finally.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's Thray and Jasnix at the very same time. So we might do all four together on one stream.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
I think I'll be commentating that one too. I think I signed up for it.
I can probably commentate. It's only an hour.
All right, and with that, also, I believe we have a Skyward Sword Rando showcase happening on Sunday, correct?
Yes.
So that's going to be fun. All right, and with that, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for watching. We're going to go ahead and raid the main ZSR channel. They've got a Wind Waker's spoiler log tournament happening between Tanjiro 3 and Tuba Man. And then at 8:50 p.m. tonight on ZSR main, we have another Wind Waker randomizer spoiler log tournament between Gobbity Bobbity and Jarhead HME, and that's the winners bracket semifinals. So look forward to that. I hope you all had a great time watching. I want to thank our runners, Exto and Muzu, and our commentators, Tato ISR and KitKat. It was an absolute fun time to watch. I am also very sorry about that short downtime. My PC decided to crash an hour after I booted it up, which I love.
Much like back in time.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
So, and thanks to Cubs Roll for jumping on and getting the stream back up as quickly as he did. All right, then. Have a great day, everybody. See y'all later. Bye.
Yeah, see ya. GG runners.
Out. Tato immediately left. So KitKat, are you gonna join the? Are you gonna do the random race showcase?
Oh yeah. I'll definitely race in it. Yeah.
Definitely race. I'm wondering if like everybody wants to race